Hey, sorry about that. I got a phone call. It might be a little bit hard to follow. I probably haven't picked the easiest project to start with. But anyway, basically all I've done is repeated the same pattern that I did with the first 2 beads. I've done my first row of 3, wrapped underneath, made a single wrap in the middle, come back and made my second, third row. And then I've gone back in between the 2 and just put that oblong shaped bead, the same pattern through and through. Okay, I'm going to go back underneath and make one more wrap. Sometimes when you do this, your wire can twist and bend on you. You want to kind of keep it looped towards you because you don't want it to get kinks in it. That's not good. Okay, pull it tight and taut. Then you're going to add the centerpiece, which is your focal bead. It has, let's see, I don't know if you can see that. Yep. It has 4 little holes. So it was actually part of a bracelet, like a stretchy type of bracelet, but you can put this wire through because it's real thin. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so just go through both of those holes. Yep. You're going to position it where you want it, which would be in the center, right so. Take my wire back underneath to secure that. And I'm going to make several wraps underneath the focal bead to make sure that that's in there nice and tight. Let's see. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So that was my first. And all I'm doing is just coming up underneath that, just like sewing with the needle really, except for you're doing it with the wire. Probably 2 would be nice and secure. I don't know if I need to do 3. Let me feel it. Maybe 1 more. Yeah, I think 1 more. Okay. Alright, so I have my 3 wraps. I'm pulling that wire really tight and snug. Oh, and this has happened every now and again. You'll get a little kink in the wire. I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? That happened there. We want to unkink that. I don't know if it shows up on the camera because that'll mess your beads up. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Sometimes you can get that with a flat nose wire. You can unkink it, just smooth it out, which I got lucky. Other times you have to use a nylon nose pliers, but I got away with that one. Alright, so now you're just going to thread the other side through those 2 holes to attach it onto your piece. So, let me see. I'm going through both the holes there with my wire. Probably be a lot easier for you to do this because your eyes are younger and better than mine. Hard for me to see those tiny holes. Okay. I can't see what I'm doing. Let me see something here. It's got snag. There we go. Alright, good deal. Okay. Sorry, trying to see in the light where I am. Okay, so I've got that secure in there. I'm going to get that another wrap underneath and back around to secure it before I start my next row of beads, and basically just going to repeat the same pattern that I did on the other side to get a nice uniform look. Okay, pull that up nice and tight. So make sure that it's sitting straight. You can kind of use your fingers to manipulate your centerpiece and pull tight with your wire. Make sure that it's not crooked because that would not be good. And just repeat the pattern. So we go back to the 3 beads These are called, the really tiny, tiny ones like these are called little seed beads because they're like little seeds. Got real small holes to see. So, okay, real small holes. Okay, so I usually work a little quicker than this, but I'm trying to do it to show, make sure that you can see it on camera. Hopefully the next tutorial will be a bit better than this one. Learning curve for me. Okay, so I've got my 3. Come back underneath. Gets a little easier as you get to the end too, where the wire is a little shorter. When the wire is really long, it's a bit more difficult to manipulate. You've got less to work with as you get towards the end of the project. Oh, that's nice and flush. Good deal. Okay, so I've got my 3 there. I'm going to come up in between those 3, make one wrap, up under and over, like so. That's that little single wrap you do in between the 3 beads is what's going to make a little tiny space for you to put this oblong shaped bead, so it's not sticking out on top. It'll sit nestled, sandwiched in between, which gives it a pretty look, I think. Okay. Good deal. Running out of space. Okay, so you kind of hold that bead in place with your finger to keep it from slipping and sliding around while you're threading your wire underneath. Again, make sure you don't get a twist in the wire like that. Keep that loop facing you. I'm going to pull it up nice and tight, like so. And do my other little 3 beads on the side. Okay. 2 and 3. Almost finished. Okay. So oops, got an escapee. Stay where I put you, sausage. Okay. Again, kind of holding those beads in place. I really can't see here. Let's see. Sorry, needed the light to see where my wire was going. I couldn't see very good. Alright. Just getting a little tricky at the end. There we go. Push them together nice and snug. Pull that wire up tight. Almost finished. Just have, well, could do one more row. I think I can manage one more row there. Kind of running out of space a little on that. I've got 1, 2, I'm not going to have enough room there, I don't think. 3, got 1, 2, 3, so I need one more bicone there. nice and tight. So all your beads stay close together. Starting to take shapes, almost done. So I just have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I've got one more row of 3 little those tiny silver beads, and then it's time to finish it up and wrap it up, as they say in show business. 1, sorry, I'm being so slow. Just trying to make sure that you can see it, and getting enough light is a bit tricky. But I'll get better at it, I guess, hopefully. Alright, now you've got a uniform pattern. Make sure that that is, yes, from one side to the other. Now, kind of, yeah, I'm going to go back behind the back of the barrette and kind of almost make a cross shape. So I'm going to go back around the end bead. This is to secure all the beads together. Back up, under and around tight, and then you pull that up real tight and kind of pull it almost at a left hand angle and make you a wee wrap on the end, like so. I'll probably do 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. You want to get those wires. I might do 4. As close together as you can, and keep the tension really tight, because that's what's going to hold all your beads in place. And this is what I like to use those round nose pliers for. They help you get control of that wire a little bit better, and you can use them to pinch your wires down a little more snug and neat. Then all you need to do is cut the end of your wire once you're sure the beads are nice and secure in there, which they should be, because it's kind of a weaving pattern that I've made, so the crossing back and forth is really what keeps everything stable. Okay, and then you'll have a little tail, hopefully you can see that, left on the end. You want to make sure that you tuck that in. You can use those round nose pliers so that it's not sticking out, and really pinch it down. Hope you can see that good, because you don't want anything catching in your hair. And which it is, and run your finger across it, make sure there's no sharp pieces hanging out. And if you want to, you can also afterwards, to make sure that everything stays in place for a long time, you can turn it over. Well, these ones are tricky to put ribbon on, but on certain barrettes you can glue a piece of ribbon across the back that kind of hides all that wire work that you've done, and that will keep everything nice and smooth. But because we've got this little bow here, I won't be able to do that with this one, but I can still use just a little bit of glue if I want to on the end of my wrap here, which is probably what I will do. I might even cover that with some kind of embellishment on either end. I think might look good, because I don't really like that hole hanging out. Anyway, I hope you managed to follow all that, even though it is a bit manic, and enjoyed the tutorial. Maybe I'll start with something a little bit easier next time. I didn't think about that. Having to turn the barrette upside down is probably a bit hard to follow. But that is a hair barrette tutorial. I think they're really fun to make, and maybe I've inspired you to make some. Hope so. Enjoy talking to you soon. Bye.